essential oils. How trendy. Citric acid. What are you doing with that? An ornament. Okay. Dried out flowers. Pretty. A bunny squirt bottle.
Look at the bunny.
Oatmeal. I like oatmeal. What am I doing with all of these things? Welcome back to Pinterest Problems! For today's Pinterest problem project, I'm going to be making DIY bath bombs. Here's a clip of what I pinned, and here's a quick clip of the directions. For the DIY bath bombs, the supplies that you'll need are citric acid, baking soda, quick oats. Alright, we'll get a lavender, witch hazel. Looking good!
Thank you.
Ornament molds or bath bomb molds. Look at this one. My appropriate flower hunting shirt. So I'm going to follow their directions exactly, and let's see what happens. You're going to need a bowl with a sifter, and you'll take 1 cup of baking soda and 1/2 cup of citric acid and pour both of those into your sifter. You're going to use the sifter just to get any lumps or clumps out of it to make sure your bath bomb is going to be as smooth as possible. And then after you sift those, you're going to take 1/4 cup of oats and 1/4 of a teaspoon of your essential oils. I'm using lavender. Lavenderly.
Citric acid and baking soda storm.
Alright, so now I have all of my ingredients mixed up and it's time for the witch hazel. In what I pinned, they said that this was the trickiest part to describe. They said that once you start spraying this, you want your mixture to be kind of like damp sand as it's drying out. And they did suggest maybe going with 3 sprays at a time because then you can check it out little by little. 1, 2, 3. So as I'm spraying, I'm mixing it up here and I'm halfway through. They said they used 18 sprays. I'm at 9 sprays and you can see it's pretty dry still. So I don't know if the 18 sprays is going to be enough. Alright, so I did my 18 sprays and I'm just going to keep mixing here. So the more that I mix it, I will admit it seems a lot more wet now. It is like damp sand. You know, when it's wet, you can form it into something and then let it kind of crumble. And I think we should try to put it in the mold now. Alright, so now we need to actually make our bath bomb. I have my concoction mixed up here along with my dried flowers. So to make it, they said that you need to take the side of your bath bomb mold that has the lip going up, and then that way when you put the sides together, that little lip isn't going to interfere and it's going to allow you to place them together easily. So I'm going to take some of my dried out flowers here and take some of my mixture and place that in, pressing it down. Okay, and then if you want to put some dried out flowers right in the center, just make a little hollow there that they can fit into and add those right in there. And then just finish off the sides. Alright, and then my other half, just going to place that mixture right in there, compressing it at the bottom. I'm not leaving a hollow in this one, so I need to kind of build up the center a little more so that when I put them together, it fits together like a puzzle. And they also say not to compress that very top layer, and that will help when you are putting the molds together. Alright, so now we are going to place them together and let's see what happens. Okay, so here it is all close up. Once you've got both halves filled and you've pressed it together like this, you actually want to take off both pieces of the mold. Now, I'm kind of scared to do that, but that's what they're saying, so let's see. They want you to take the bottom half off, or that first part that you filled with the flowers with that lip on it. They want you to take that one off first. Oh my gosh, it actually came off. I'm really shocked, and the flowers are still intact as well. To take off the other side, let's see if it works. Hey! And we have a bath bomb. Mine's a little separated on the sides here, but it's still staying whole. And then to let it dry, they do suggest to set it down on something like a soft towel, because if you set it down on something like a hard table surface, since it is still wet, it may start to make a level impression on the bottom. I'm just going to set mine to dry out overnight on my little towel here. And then just for fun, I did find this mold at Michael's as well. It was with the soap making ingredients, and I thought it'd be fun to try out a mold that didn't require two halves put together, but rather just one side that you just have to pop it out. Okay, I have my ingredients smashed into the mold here. I guess I should just pop it out right away like they suggested popping out the other one. Whew, popped right out. And it held its shape pretty nicely. I'll come back to these probably 24 hours from now to let them set. They suggested 12 to 24 hours. After making my bath bombs, the one in the round mold and then that one from the soap mold, we have 0 Pinterest problems right now. These are looking pretty Pinterest perfect. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself just yet. We need to let these babies dry, and then we'll make our verdict. 24 hours later, where has the time gone? So I let my bath bombs dry overnight. These dried pretty much just as how I left them. Of course, they're not wet anymore. These look great. Upon further inspection, I must say that Big Bird is in my bath bomb. So on my Pinterest scale of 1 being a Pinterest problem and 10 being Pinterest perfect, I gotta give this DIY a 10. This is Pinterest perfect. I thought that the amount of witch hazel may be a Pinterest problem, and I was proven wrong. There were 0 problems along the way. I have nothing negative to say. The way that this pin was laid out and the directions that they provided, they did a great job. There was nothing weird that they left out or some ingredient that just didn't work right. Everything was perfect, or Pinterest perfect. So the cost of this Pinterest production was around $15. I did have some of the ingredients at home already, but if you were to go out and buy every ingredient, it would cost around $15. And when I made my batch, I was only able to make this bath bomb and this little one. But of course, when you make it, you will have some ingredients left over. So although my one batch didn't make that much, I do have ingredients left over to just be able to make another batch. And of course, the cost of my flowers were free. I just went around my apartment building and gathered some up. Don't worry, I didn't leave any flowers naked. I was modest with how many I took. And then when I did dry these out, all I did was put them on a baking sheet and put them in the oven for about 5 minutes on 350, and they dried out really nicely. The one thing that I do think that can change how much your bath bombs do cost is the essential oils. I found my essential oils from Michael's for $4 to $5, but I also did see them in other stores like Whole Foods for $20 or more. So if you're really set on a certain scent, that will make the price of your project go up. Out of all the ingredients, I was able to find everything really easily, but I had a really hard time finding one ingredient in particular, and that was the citric acid. Off I went to Target, my local grocery store, Whole Foods, and Trader Joe's, and I didn't find it at any of those places. The place that I ended up finding it was Walmart. So if you like this video, check out my other ones and subscribe to my channel. If you have something that you've seen on Pinterest that you want me to try, leave a comment down below for me and maybe it will be what I make in my next video. And most importantly, keep on pinning my Pinterest people.